Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Animal Lovers Cafe. I am so happy that you're here dancing like we're animals. The energy is up right here at the cafe. All the animals are so happy that you're here. They've been waiting and they're just really, really excited. So I just wanted you to, yes, Marcus, your llama is here, always ready for you. You guys are into shenanigans. I just know it, right? I know you are. Because, like anybody that wears a green bow tie and green flip-flops, that would be Mr. Llama, has got to be a total character. So are you. So are we all, because we love animals. And we love to have fun and have a great time. So speaking of that, can you hear that? Can you hear or understand what animals are trying to tell you? You hear that? What are they saying? Write yes or no in the chat. If you've had an experience where you heard an animal, or you understood them, you understood what they were trying to tell you. Because it's so important to listen. So today we're going to be chatting about the fine art of listening and listening to animals. But first, I just want to welcome all of the new people that are here joining us right here in the cafe. So if you're new, please write new in the comments so we can welcome you, so I can say hi to you, and so that all of the wonderful members of the cafe can say hi to you and welcome you. And if you don't know me, my name is Janet Dobbs of Animal Paradise Communication and Healing, where my greatest joy is to help you understand your unique way of receiving communication from an animal, right? So we're talking about listening to animals. Just got a little technical thing going on here. But listening to animals, listening to each other, right? There's just real... Don't you like it when somebody listens to you? Right? Really listens. Like can't find my phone. Well, it's supposed to not be here. I was going to use it as a prop. But it's like everybody is just like so into their devices. We don't pay attention to each other. We don't pay attention to animals. We don't pay attention to what's going on around us because we're so busy, just so absorbed in that. People are losing the ability to actually look each other in the eyes and listen. So listening is like a topic that is so broad and so diverse. So this is really about listening to animals, but maybe it might be really good to just talk about what it's like to listen to another, to be heard. So put yourself in a situation where somebody's really listened to you. Do you remember what that felt like? So maybe their eyes are looking into your eyes and they're being quiet. And they're not going like, oh, okay, what's over here? Oh no, there was an alert on my phone. Oh, ooh. So they're not fully present with you, fully listening to you. But when somebody is, they give you their full attention. They're hanging on your every word. Doesn't that feel good? You feel heard. Because I know what it's like to not feel heard, to feel invisible. And many animals feel the same way. They're not heard. So there's so many examples I could give to you of that, but I've had so many aha moments just in the last couple days as I've been thinking about this topic with my own animals. It's like they come up to me and they want me to stop what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, I'm too busy. Right? Have you ever done that? I'm too busy. And maybe it's your child or somebody that you live with or a friend or whatever, but you're so involved in, typing away at whatever is on, whatever device, maybe thumbing away at on whatever device that you're on. That seems to be what so many of us are doing. Or you're focused on something and you can't take a moment to go like, oh, what is it that you want? Oh, okay, I'm going to listen to you. And lots of times what our animals are trying to say is, stop doing whatever it is you're doing because it seems to be pretty darn boring, and come play with me. Come be with me. Listen to me. Listen to me because I'm going to have some fun with you. Or I'm just want to hang out with you and not worry about any of that other stuff, right? Listening to animals. So sharing another example that happened this morning, and I just went, oh, wow, in my face, like I don't listen perfectly. I was running around the kitchen, doing dishes, trying to fix something to eat, trying, to get ready for now. And my husband was sitting at the kitchen table and he started saying something to me, and I was just like, really? And then I went, wait, I might be missing a wonderful opportunity. I need to listen to him. And so I sat down and I listened, but my daggone mind was so distracted. It's like, hurry up. I kept thinking like, man, he's turning into his dad. He's like stretching a story out so long. And I'm like, what's the point? Get to the point so I can move on and get ready for, for this. And I was like, wait, stop it. So it's like I had two people talking in my ear while I'm listening to him. Was I focused on him? No. But as time went by and I realized what I was doing, I got quieter. And I started just like, hey, why can't I take a moment just to listen and hear another being, another person, another human? So think about that. Notice if, are you a good listener? Do you listen, or do you just get distracted but think about how that feels to be listened to have that moment in time. Life's so short, right? And our animals, listening to them. So if you have a question, put a Q in the comments and then, give me your question. Write your question so I can see it in the comments and I'll answer that. But questions about listening and hearing our animals. So there's a question that somebody's written to me. I want to answer as best as I can. How do I know that an animal is talking to me? How do I know? So a lot of people do know because they've been practicing. Sometimes we don't know, but lots of times, so especially if you're new, you think like you're going to hear words in your ears or in your head, right? You're going to hear words. Animals don't necessarily think in words like we do because they don't have a spoken language like we do, English, Spanish, French, German, Russian, Japanese, Arabic, whatever, there's so many human languages, but there's a universal language called telepathy, and that's how they communicate. So they also, think about this, animals think in pictures. We think in words. So think of it as before you or any other human was, pre-verbal, before we could say dog, cat, boat, house. A human, an adult or an older person that could speak could point to and say dog, cat, and you would know what that was, but you'd have a picture in your mind before you had the word. So lots of times we would see, they would teach us how to read, but first we'd see the picture of whatever it was, and then we'd see the word, right? So animals think in pictures. So think about that. That's a way of communication. So if you all of a sudden feel or see a picture in your mind, like a ball or a stick or a tree or anything, it might be and most likely is from them. And another way is you just kind of have a sense of knowing. You just know. It's like I was looking at my kitty and I was like, I knew he wanted to be petted and he wanted to be brushed. He was very clear. He didn't have to tell me. Oh, he was trying to tell me. It's like, he was trying to brush himself. Like, the brush was down on the little perch that he gets on, and he started doing this to the brush. It's like, oh, okay, you want to be brushed. I mean, sometimes they just have to knock us in the head, to get their point across. But are we listening to them? Listening to them. And another question I've had, so I'll go into depth in a little later about how you know and how you can be sure that you're receiving information from an animal, listening to them. Another question somebody asked was, where they kind of said, I can hear domestic animals pretty good. I'm pretty sure about that. But I can't hear wild animals. And I thought, wow. So we're making wild animals and domestic animals separate entities, separate beings. And they are, but they're just different. We can still hear them. So a lot of times we humans want an animal to sit right in front of us and give us their full attention. And lots of times they're just busy, but they're listening. They really are, unlike us. They are listening. So let's pretend like there's a bird and he just flew into, close by to where you are. And you say hello to them. Just listen for a hello back. It might come as a hello. It might come as a feeling. But just have that connection. And mostly, you feel it in your heart, that connection. And then the next thing you know, it's like, if they've flown off with their life. And that happens with a lot of wild animals. Insects, it depends. If they're in your house, maybe a fly, they fly around. Maybe a spider might be hanging around. They stay a little more still. So you can have a conversation with them being physically present with you. But guess what? You don't have to. They don't have to be present. So you could go back and connect with them. So let's say there was a bird. It was just this beautiful bird, or just maybe an everyday kind of common bird. But that unique individual had a connection with you for a moment, right? You can go back. What's that mean, you can go back? You can be present right here in this moment, but the bird has moved on to wherever it is, and you can ask them a question. You can ask them if they have a message for you, and then just sit in the silence, feeling your connection with them, remembering that moment that they were there, as brief as it may have been. They made an impression on you, right? So just take a little moment and say, hey, do you have a message for me? And it might not be something profound and, like down through the ages, boom, like this is like life-changing. It could just be, hello, you just need to be quiet more. Or you should be like me, learn how to fly. It needs to be open to possibilities. And then maybe you might want to write down that message you received from them, because the wild ones have so much to teach us. And yes, you can hear them. You can connect with them and you can be with them. And those feelings, or it feels like, write that down. It's just really amazing. Yeah. So feel it. Feel the communication and connection. Feel it with your heart. And you're up here. And take it down a little further into your belly, into your gut. You know that gut feeling? That sense of that intuition. I don't know, but I just know. Often that's deep communication with another being, is where you just have no words. That's a human thing. You just know. That's how you can receive information from animals often, when you listen to them. So there's a fine art of being a listener and listening. And I saw this quote. I found it really interesting, so I wanted to share it with you. Maybe you'll like it too. It really hit me. I am only responsible for what I say. I am not responsible for what you hear. And I thought that's pretty profound and right on. So think about that. Think about that. Just for a moment. Take that in. Because this is going a little more into actually communicating with another. And so when it happens with humans, know that it can happen with an animal. The back and forth two-way communication. What I say might not be what you hear. What does that mean? Have you ever been in a classroom or in a group, and then one person is making a point or teaching a teaching, some kind of a lesson or something you want to learn? If you asked each person that was receiving the information to tell you what they received or what they heard, they're going to tell you, each one of them is going to tell you something different. So think of it kind of as that game from a long time ago. I don't know if they play it anymore, called telephone. Telephone. So the way telephone worked is you'd have a circle of people, and the person would start with a statement or conversation or something, and they would turn to the person next to them and say, pss, 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 pss. And then that person would turn to the person next to them and go, pss, 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 pss. And it would go all the way around until it came back to the person who said the thing originally. And the high percent, what comes back is nothing even close to what the person originally said. So the same thing can happen when we're communicating with animals. What they hear might not be what we said. Now, how to get clear? A human communicating with an animal. What's in our mind needs to be the same as what comes out of our mouths. And then in the case of silently communicating with an animal, that's a little different because our mouths are closed. We just think and feel. That's a little clearer. That connection, that communication. So just kind of think about some of these things when you're trying to listen to an animal. And then also, maybe you might think about it when you're listening to another human too. Am I really listening? Or do I just really not care what they have to say? I don't have the time of day to give them. I can't give them the time of day. That doesn't feel very good to the other person, right? So maybe taking steps, being aware of listening to the other, but listen to the animal. It's a fine art. So you might be saying, like, how in the world do I listen and hear an animal? I can give you some little pointers, some little tips if you've never done it before, or even if you just tried it a little bit or you're out of practice. One of the easiest things to do is be. So be with that animal. So let's pretend you have a dog, a cat, a horse. Maybe they like to be brushed or, just pet them. In that touching, the brushing them, petting them, your whole body can relax. You can kind of feel a little more grounded, quiet. You quiet a little bit when you're doing that. If they're the size of an animal that can get in your lap, it just feels really good. What's that got to do with listening? Sometimes listening is being silent, right? You are silent. There's a two-way conversation and you can respond to and be in a conversation, but it's more about listening to them, hearing them, being there with them in that moment, in this beautiful kind of a little bubble. It's just you all, you two, and the rest of the world is just kind of moving by. In that moment, you're just with them. So the same thing with an animal. In listening to them, a really easy step is to just be quiet. Duh. Right? And be with them. So maybe you pet them. Maybe you don't. You don't have to touch them. And in the case of a horse, there's more, or, the bigger animals, there's much more of them to touch with their permission. Or you can just be there with them. And in that silence can come the beautiful, deep communication and connection. And it can come in any form. So you may see a picture in your mind. You may feel in your heart. You may have a sense of knowing, oh, I just know that they're happy and content right now, and they want more of this. Or, oh, I just know they want to go and play. Or, oh, I just know they want to go and not be here with me anymore, but they want to leave the barn and go out in the pasture and just run around with their friends. I just know. But you listened. You listened and you heard them. And you can tell that sometimes they can give us the acknowledgement back. It's just really clear. Like the horse that wanted to go out with its mates, its friends in the field. It's the second you open the door, they're like, oh, yay. Thank you. You can feel a thank you sometimes for them listening. And in the silence comes the deep messages. So you can try this. Just feel your feet on the ground when you're with another being, even with a human. Just take nice, slow in and out breaths. And then feel your energy kind of moving down towards your feet. Let your mind just release and relax and let go of any thoughts that you have of the present day or the future or the past. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, that kind of stuff. Let it go. Be with your animal. And as you begin to kind of ground, you also open. Your heart opens, your mind opens, all of your senses open. And then you can receive. So think of it like your animal is a transmitter and you're a receiver. So you're open to receive whatever they might be trying to share with you. So that's a way to hear the animal. Just be present with them. Being present. Being in the present moment is a gift. A present is a gift. So being in the present moment is a gift. So that's pretty much the short version of listening, but the importance of listening. So I hope that you've picked up a few thoughts and tips, or maybe even had the mirror held up like I have today. Are you really listening to another? Or are you just jabbering away in your own little world and the whole world is kind of passing you by? Take that time and notice if you're listening to the human, because take that and listen to the animal. Ask them what they want. What do you have to teach me? What do you have to say? Do you have a message for me? Or it could just be simple, like, let's go play. Go play. Take that moment if you possibly can, unless there's something that's so, so important. But in the moment, they know what to do. They know how to have a healthy life. They're trying to help us. So if we can let them into our lives and help us listening to them, our lives can be richer and so much better. Yeah. So I would love, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, thoughts, statements, anything that came up. I would love to hear from you because this is a topic that is endless. The art of listening to another. Whether it's a human or a non-human. We're all animals, right? So listening to each other. So thank you for listening to me, because I've been jabbering on. I hope that you come back anytime. And please, just feel free to contact me. I would love to just answer any of your questions if you have any, or just listen. I would be happy to listen to what you have to say. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for being here with me and with your animals. Oh, my guys are upstairs or they're out on the porch, so they weren't here today, Max and Luna. Thanks, Marcus. Bye. Have the best day. Have the best weekend. Have fun with animals, no matter who or where you are. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all. Thanks so much. Have the best day. Have fun with the animals. Bye.